Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Here we are, Lisha Women's Wing, with another networking session, and today is our 75th networking session. The topic that we have chosen today is leadership skills and building a strong team. A strong leader becomes ineffective without a good team, and a strong team becomes ineffective without a good leader. So what does it take to be a strong leader? And how do we build a strong team? So this is our topic today, and we have an experienced and excellent speaker for you today. It is none other than Mr. KESAVAN SATHYAMOORThy. He has built a strong team. I've known him for many years, and I've known him through the Red Pill program from SICI, Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce, and I have been amazed myself of what a wonderful mentor he has been to many aspiring business people. So for today's topic, I thought the team as well, together with me, thought that Mr. KESAVAN will be an excellent choice to speak on leadership skills and building a strong team. I would like to thank RJ, our EXCO, for being the organizing chair of this wonderful topic. I would also like to thank Anu and Bhuvaneswari for assisting her in organizing this important topic for all of us. So without further ado, let me pass it over to Mr. KESAVAN SATHYAMOORThy. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. My name is KESAVAN, Group CEO of Diamond Glass, Hutchison Builders, and Diamond Investment Holdings, and many other companies. This evening, it's a great honor to be invited by Lisha Women's Wing to give a talk on, I understand, on your 75th networking session for the Women's Wing's networking session. And I think after doing business for more than 25 years, I think they would like to want me to share thoughts on leadership, and I'll try to do my best to all of you all. Okay, so the first question that is asked to me is, what is a leader and what is the 3 P's in leadership? I understand that the 3 P's in leadership is on delegation, autocratic leadership, and democratic leadership, which if you have a bit of all 3, you are able to be a perfect leader. I understand that's how the graph looks like from a chart that somebody showed me. But I believe a good leader is somebody who understands the heart and mind of his people. A good leader is someone who can actually go down to the ground where to understand and feel what the followers, a leader will have followers. The followers at home, the head of a house is a leader. The followers are the family members. In a company, the head of the house is, of course, the company owner, the boss. The followers are all the department directors, managers, supervisors, and the ground staff. Community organization, sometimes there's a chairman. You know, these are all volunteers. So at a lot of times, I've seen different types of leadership. And one thing I realize is that what distinguishes from a good leader and a poor leader at most of the time is when the heart and mind is not aligned. When it's not aligned, that's when they can't lead. Sometimes they lead with their mind, not following the heart. I've seen leaders who have at many times using their head only look at financial statements and not understanding the importance of the ground staff, what they are experiencing, or their followers, what they are experiencing. I've seen this. I've also seen leaders who have been too empathetic and have always, you know, they give until everything is taken away from them and they've lost their organization. So the balance is important, but in my opinion, a good leader must have more heart than mind. The percentage should be 70-30 rather than 50-50. 50-50 is very difficult to achieve, but if you are in the reverse, you are more on the mind than the heart, you're in the 70-30, I think it's time for you to make that switch. And that's my personal opinion on a good leader. The next question asked to me is on COVID-19 leadership. How should leaders react and act during COVID-19 leadership? I think not only any other leaders, myself, in my own organization, when the virus first hit my organization, I have about nearly 70 staff who are affected by COVID-19. So the immediate impact was, yes, financial, but I think the biggest impact as a leader that I faced was, I felt very sad and very worried because it's an unknown disease, it's a pandemic. I couldn't understand whether my workers are going to survive. I don't want a single person to lose his life. I think that was the biggest worry as a owner of a business and an owner, because I'm not just accountable to that worker, I'm also accountable to the family of my staff. And Diamond Glass is a big group. We have about close to 200 over staff. I have a factory where we also manufacture, so I have factory workers as well. And then I have my management staff. So the whole organization went into fear mode. When something unknown happens in life, everyone gets into a fear mode. And that's when I realized, I understand some of my management staff, they started to face problems at home as well. And they were coming to work very worried, thinking whether their job is going to be, they're going to lose their job, are they going to retain their job and all these things. So I personally had to step up as a leader to look at the situation and address their fears. So the first thing as a leader I did was to address their fears. That's number one. Number two, I brought in my consultants, I brought in my specialists, I brought in my board of advisors. We sat down and we said, are we going to let go of our staff just because of a short-term problem? First thing we did was to say, none of the staff have left us. They have not left the job, neither have we asked them to leave. We came up with a payment package where we retain our staff, they take the pay cut now, about 30%. However, we have promised them that when we go back to normal times, we are going to return back all the 30% pay cuts that they are receiving. So that we have confirmed with them. And that means what they are facing right now with us, this right along, this cash flow issues that every organizations are facing, we will ride it through. So that's one. So communication with your staff, your downlines is very, very important during this. So addressing the fear, next is communicating. Communicating what you are experiencing is extremely important, because if you know how to communicate that and you communicate it with integrity, then I think every staff will understand the situation that you are facing. And this is very, very, very important. The next important thing is expenses. All leaders at this period of time must look at your cash flow management. You have to manage your in and out of your business more better than any time of doing business or in all your life. Maybe you're doing business for 20 years, 10 years, or you're a new startup, you just started. It's very important for you to check your in and your out. If your out is more than your in, definitely you know where you need to cut. If your in is not coming, you must look at new ins, new ways of generating cash flow during this COVID-19. So you must think of creative ways. There are areas where during this period of time, my group, we decided to buy a cleaning company. So we understand that the industry, cleaning is one of the important industry It's not a disrupted industry during this COVID-19. It's a more needed industry. So we invested into a 15-year-old company. Yeah, so we just invested the last 3 months. And yeah, to grow that company and one of the services that we are doing is disinfection services. You have to find new revenue streams to survive and to value add as well. The world has not come to an end. If you're in a business, say you're in a business that has really been badly hit and you decided to close down, then my advice is look at new sectors which are emerging in maybe the technology areas, any other sectors. So your mind must open up to new revenue generation, whether you're in existing business trying to survive or you're closing down and you're looking at new opportunities as an entrepreneur. If you're closing down and going back to a job, then my advice is from wherever I'm coming, with all the experiences I have, is you need to develop the latest skills. What are the skills in the new economy? What are the skills post-COVID? So post-COVID skills will be on technology-based sectors. So you try to go towards that directions, or certain value-added services which you suddenly are popping up, and so look at those sectors and try to upgrade your skills there, attend new programs there, new courses there. And once you develop those skill sets, then you can either value add to your new organization that you're working for, or you can start a business in that sector. So that is my other advice for businesses that are being disrupted, because people don't talk about that. I like to address that. I think the greatest leadership skill that you should possess this period of time, and I like this to go out to all the individuals on screen right now, is to be a leader at home. If you are not a leader at home, please don't expect to be a leader outside your home. If you don't know how to take care of your family, right? Because of COVID-19, you're facing financial pressures and different pressures outside. Please don't bring that pressure back home. Because if you mix it both, your family life is not going to be happy. And if you're not happy, your family life is not happy, it's very difficult for you to function outside your family life. So be a good leader if you're a son, be a good son. If you're a husband, be a good husband. If you're a father, be a good father or mother. But importantly, leadership skills starts from home. And from home, then it goes out to outside your home. So that's important. Next question that's posted to me is how to build a successful team. I think the number one thing for a successful team is, if you're a leader, you have to ensure you build your number two, who is equal or better than you. That is a mark of a true leadership. I've seen many leaders who don't want their number two to outlearn or overlearn or, the current knowledge. You see, knowledge must always be developed. And if you think that, I'm a leader and I don't want my number two to know more than me, tomorrow I lose my value, I think that's completely wrong. So a good leader is someone who develops other leaders, and these other leaders must complement his leadership, must have his skills, this number two, especially number two in a team, and the knowledge must be given for number two to be able to operate. So when you become very successful and more rich is when you can develop many leaders like you. That's very, very important. And then with that skill set of developing your number two with the right tools and the right skills, then you should have that number two to develop good teams with different various skill sets in your team. Now, also very important, you must make every one of your team members a mini leader, but you must also understand that you must also know how to develop very good followers as well. Good followers who are mini leaders. If everybody is a leader in a team, nobody is going to listen to the main leader. there's going to be a lot of commotion. So what makes a good team is the different skill sets that are in the team, and these different skill sets must complement the leaders, and of course the big leader must have a second leader who will eventually take over the main leadership, and then there's leadership continuity. That leader must then train his number two, and this must be a ever evolving process that should never end. During this crisis period, the team dynamics will definitely change. People are working from home. Some people are commuting to work on an irregular basis, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's during the pre-time, it's easy for us to call everyone for a meeting. Now people at home, people are not used to, they like mothers, or whether they are married or single, will have many issues handling their children at home. At the same time, also managing the work balance, because naturally children will want attention from their father or mother. So these are the challenges. So leaders must understand the married couples who have kids at home, the challenges that they will face with the children. That is number one thing. I request all leaders to understand this. Second, the leaders must also check the work environment. Is the environment suitable for working? So in my company, what we do is we do a house check, we do a room check, we'll install phone for them, we'll install computer, printer, everything. A full office setup is done for them, for those who are working from home. That is done, and then we also try to educate the parents to educate their children that during this time to this time is my work time. It's difficult. You cannot tell a child 9 to 6 is my work time. You can't do it during COVID time. It's very difficult. But at least you can do pockets. Okay, 9 to 10 o'clock, next 1 hour, Amma or Appa is going to work. Okay, next 10 to 11 is your time. Then again, 11 to 12, I have to go back to my work. Something like that. So this is one of my suggestions that I put forth. The other thing is, once we develop the home culture for working from home, then comes the office culture. When they come to the office on when they are doing telecommuting and all these things, when they are working on like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays instead of Tuesday, Thursday at home and all that, they must be able to develop the most productive work in the office. So the most important tasks, the higher valued tasks must be done in the office, and the lower valued tasks can be done at home. So this is another important thing. And they might come from different departments communicating with each other. So the communication channel also must be open. And of course Zoom and WebEx and all this are available. So all these portals can be used more strategically, right? I think the new way of leadership is not to control the staff, to be KPI driven, rather than did you wake up at 9 o'clock and are you finishing exactly at 6 o'clock. You can't go to that anymore. So it has to be, what are my given tasks for the day? What are the KPIs for the day? Has this stuff finished or never finished? And everything, what gets measured gets done. I believe in that. If you can measure something, that measured task, then you can track the performance of every individual. So you have to put measurement tools in place and KPIs in place. And if it's done, and please reward, because even now the communication, the leader must be able to communicate. You can communicate in a WhatsApp group. You can communicate when you are in your Zoom meeting. The leader must be able to tell the staff you're doing a good job. Earlier today, I bought some incense. So one of my performing staff, she came to the office. I just gave it to her. I said, good performance during COVID. It's a very small gesture, but I saw the smile in her face. So I think small appreciations will help them motivated. The question asked to me is, what are the key factors and strategies in building a strong team? My answer to this is camaraderie. Very, very important is for the team to see the leader during work and off work. Must be able to see the leader in both sides as a human as well as a boss. See, most of the teams, they only function, okay, this during office hours, this is my boss, and they only know the boss during office hours. They don't know the boss as a father, as a mother. They don't know the boss as a son, as a daughter, as a friend. So I think if a team needs to develop its strength, it actually comes from first understanding who's the leader and where the leader came from. How did this person become my leader? And once they understand that, they will be in a better place to communicate the day-to-day issues that will happen, the day-to-day challenges, the day-to-day achievements that they want to go towards. And I think vice versa, the leader must also do the same role with each of his followers. If you are a good leader, you will know what work your staff's spouse is working as. What are the challenges your staff's kids are facing in school? And this can only achieve if you become a people's person. And that is a mark of a true leader. I've also seen very successful leaders who are not like that, but they've gone on to make millions and billions. I think at the end of the day, when you come to the end of the journey, I think it's not how much money you've made in life, it's how many people you have built in life. I think that's the mark of true leadership. And whether you're a millionaire or a billionaire or you're a startup boss who's trying to come up in life, I think if you want to build your company, you must build your people. And if you build your people, I think you'll be able to build this country. So I think the mark of a true leadership, and for a team to actually become very successful, I think the leader has to be a people's person. It's very important. My sincere appreciation goes out to the organizing chairperson here, Anu, for bringing forth this, for me to speak on this topic. Thank you. I also like to thank Joyce Kingsley, the chairperson for the Women's Wing of Lisha, and Mr. Rajkumar, the chairman for Lisha. I think all the three of them are leaders on their own. They are doing a lot for the Indian business community as well as the Indian community at large. I should highlight that Rajkumar is a good friend of mine, and he has done so much for the Indian business community and for especially Little India's development and growth. And Joyce Kingsley, she has worked many years tirelessly to bring up this women's wing to what it is today, a very successful committee to promote successful business women. And also I understand Anu has joined them from Abhirami Jewellers, and I think more Indian women, if they are highlighted and they are brought forth, they will go on to build this country. And I think that leadership change Singapore is seeing, especially post these elections. A lot of Indian leaders, a lot of women leaders have come forward in our parliament as well. So I think Lisha is in the good direction. I wish to see more Indian women leaders coming forward in their community and doing the best for all of us. So all the best, guys, and thank you and good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Leadership is about making others better because of our presence and making sure the impacts lasts in your absence. We have complete control over only one thing in the universe: our thinking. Yes, the way we think, the way we feel, what we believe in and what we expect all determines how successful we will achieve our goals. We can lose our spirit, our energy sometimes. A great leader takes control of the situation and uplifts them and others too. Today's segment would have kindles the leader in you and motivates to build a strong team. We generate fear while we sit. We overcome them by action. It is said that if your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I have always admired one such leader who do not follow where the path leads, but goes instead where there is no path and leaves a trail. That is none other than Ms. Joyce Kingsley, founder and chairperson of Leisure Women's Wing. First and foremost, I would like to thank her from the bottom of my heart for having trust in me and giving me this opportunity to organize this event. Thanks, Ms. Joyce. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. They instill in their people a hope for success and belief in themselves. Michelle Obama said, "Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives." One such leader I have known is Mr. KESAVAN SATHYAMOORThy, Group CEO, Glass Enterprise Pte Ltd. I thank you, sir, for being our guest speaker and sharing your wisdom and experience with us. My sincere thanks to Ms. Anu and Ms. Bhuvaneshwari for mentoring and assisting me all along in organizing this event to make it a successful one. And I have been fortunate enough to be backed up by a team of very motivated ladies, and would like to thank all the executive members of Leisure Women's Wing for all their support through my journey in Leisure Women's Wing. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to all those who are watching and following Leisure Women's Wing and our events. Please do follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for more updates and upcoming events. See you all soon with another interesting event. Until then, stay safe. Thank you once again.